What if I told you that one of the most capable luxury SUVs in the world wasn't designed primarily for city streets, school runs, or valet parking? What if I told you it was designed to climb mountains, cross rivers, survive deserts, and still pull up outside a five-star hotel, looking completely at home? And what if I told you that in 2027, this legendary machine might be better than ever? This is the 2027 Land Rover Defender, an SUV that has somehow managed to do something almost impossible in the modern automotive world. It has become both a rugged adventure vehicle and a luxury status symbol at the same time. Because, let's be honest, most modern SUVs spend their lives driving through traffic, sitting in parking lots. The Defender was born for something much bigger, and the latest version takes that philosophy and pushes it even further. Today, we're going to explore what makes the 2027 Defender so special, why buyers around the world continue to fall in love with it, and whether this British icon can still dominate a market filled with increasingly capable rivals. But before we dive into the details, there's something fascinating about this vehicle that most people don't realize. The Defender shouldn't even exist, at least not in the form we know today. When Land Rover ended production of the original Defender in 2016, many enthusiasts believed the story was over. The old Defender had become an icon. It was simple, it was tough, it was unapologetically mechanical. And replacing a legend is one of the hardest challenges in the automotive industry. Just ask Ford when they revived the Bronco, or Toyota when they brought back the Land Cruiser. Expectations become almost impossible to satisfy. Yet somehow, Land Rover pulled it off. The modern Defender didn't just survive. It became one of the company's biggest successes. And now, with the 2027 model, Land Rover appears determined to keep that momentum going. The first thing you notice about the Defender isn't a specific detail, it's its presence. Some vehicles try to look aggressive, others try to look elegant. The Defender somehow manages to look both. Standing in front of it feels like standing in front of a modern interpretation of a military vehicle designed by architects. The shape is unmistakably Defender. The upright windshield, the squared-off proportions, the short overhangs, the massive wheels pushed toward the corners. Everything communicates capability, even if you've never driven off-road in your life. One glance tells you this thing means business, and that's where the magic begins. Because every design choice serves a purpose. The nearly vertical rear section maximizes cargo space. The high roofline creates incredible visibility. The flat surfaces make it easier to judge the vehicle's dimensions when navigating tight trails. Even the exposed rear-mounted spare tire isn't just for show. It's a reminder that this SUV still values function. Yet, despite all that practicality, the Defender doesn't feel old-fashioned. The LED lighting gives it a futuristic edge. The flush details create a premium appearance, and the overall execution feels remarkably sophisticated. Park it next to a luxury SUV from Germany, and it looks every bit as expensive. Park it next to a dedicated off-roader, and it suddenly looks like it belongs in the wilderness. Few vehicles can switch identities so effortlessly, and that's before you even choose a body style. Each version has its own personality. The 90 feels athletic and adventurous. The 110 strikes the perfect balance. The 130 transforms the Defender into a genuine family hauler. But here's the interesting question. Can a vehicle that looks this rugged actually deliver luxury? Let's step inside and find out. Open the door and you immediately understand why so many people are choosing the Defender over traditional luxury SUVs. Because this isn't luxury in the usual sense. Most premium SUVs try to impress you with polished wood and delicate materials. The Defender takes a different approach. Everything feels engineered, purpose-built, solid. The exposed structural elements create a unique visual identity. The dashboard looks like it belongs in an expedition vehicle designed for a journey across continents. Yet at the same time, the materials feel premium. The seats are supportive and comfortable. The technology is modern. The build quality feels substantial. It's an interior that makes you want to go somewhere, anywhere. A road trip, a mountain trail, a cross-country adventure. The Defender creates that feeling before the engine even starts. And then there is the technology. Large digital displays provide all the information you need. Navigation, vehicle settings, off-road data, camera views. Everything is presented clearly and intuitively. Even if you're not a technology enthusiast, the system is easy to understand. And that's important, because the best technology doesn't demand your attention. It quietly helps you accomplish what you want to do. The Defender understands that philosophy remarkably well. But the true test of any SUV isn't how it looks parked. It's how it feels when the road begins to disappear. Press the start button, and the Defender immediately reveals something interesting about its personality. Despite its rugged appearance, it doesn't feel crude. It doesn't feel agricultural. It doesn't feel like a truck pretending to be an SUV. Instead, it feels refined, sophisticated, almost surprisingly civilized. Pull away from a parking space, and the steering feels light enough for everyday driving. Visibility is excellent, thanks to the upright seating position and large windows. You sit high above traffic, giving you a commanding view of the road ahead, and within a few minutes, something unexpected happens. You stop thinking about the Defender's size. For a vehicle that looks this substantial, it's remarkably easy to place on the road. That's important because many large SUVs can feel intimidating. The Defender doesn't. Instead, it feels reassuring, confident, like it's ready for whatever lies ahead. Then you reach a highway. The speed builds effortlessly. Wind noise remains impressively controlled. Road imperfections disappear beneath the suspension. And suddenly, you realize this isn't merely an off-road vehicle. It's a genuinely excellent long-distance cruiser. Hours behind the wheel feel easy, relaxing, almost therapeutic. The advanced four-wheel drive system continuously adjusts traction. Now, let's talk about what's happening under the hood. Because capability means nothing without power. The 2027 Defender is expected to continue offering a range of engines designed to suit different types of buyers. For some people, efficiency matters most. For others, towing capability is essential. And then there are those who simply want as much performance as possible. The standard powertrains provide more than enough strength for everyday use. Acceleration feels confident. Overtaking requires little effort, and towing heavy loads feels surprisingly easy. Whether you're pulling a trailer, a boat, or camping equipment, the Defender handles the task with confidence. But then, we arrive at the top of the lineup, and things get very interesting. Because the Defender Octa isn't merely powerful, it's outrageous. Imagine taking one of the world's most capable off-road vehicles and giving it the heart of a high-performance sports machine. That's essentially what Land Rover has done. Massive power, explosive acceleration, a soundtrack that transforms every tunnel into an event. The Octa proves that capability and excitement don't have to be mutually exclusive. You can have both, and that's what makes it so fascinating. Most manufacturers force buyers to choose comfort or performance, luxury or capability, speed or practicality. Here's the truth. Most people who buy a Defender will never attempt the kind of extreme terrain it's capable of conquering. And that's perfectly okay, because capability isn't always about what you do. Sometimes it's about knowing what you could do. It's the same reason people buy diving watches that never see the ocean, or performance cars that never visit a racetrack. Potential matters, and the Defender has potential in abundance. Water crossings, rock crawling, snow-covered trails, mud-soaked paths, remote wilderness expeditions. The Defender approaches each challenge with almost effortless confidence. Advanced terrain management systems constantly monitor conditions. But let's return to reality for a moment, because no matter how exciting the off-road stories sound, most owners still have groceries to buy, children to transport, road trips to take, and this is where the Defender truly shines. The cargo area is generous, passenger space is excellent, the seating position provides comfort during long journeys. Large enough for families, compact enough for urban environments, comfortable enough for daily commuting, capable enough for serious adventures. Meanwhile, the Defender 130 expands the formula even further. Need 3 rows? No problem. Need space for 7 or 8 passengers? The Defender can handle it. Need luggage space for a family vacation? Again, no problem. It performs all the duties expected of a modern SUV while maintaining a unique personality, and that's rare. Many practical vehicles become forgettable. The Defender never does. Every journey feels slightly more interesting, slightly more special, slightly more adventurous, even when you're simply driving to work. Here's what makes the Defender special. It's not the horsepower, it's not the technology, it's not even the off-road capability. It's what the vehicle represents: freedom, exploration, possibility. In an era where many vehicles feel increasingly similar, the Defender still has a distinct identity. You don't buy one simply because it gets you from point A to point B. You buy one because it changes how you think about the journey itself. Every road becomes an invitation. Every trail becomes an opportunity. Every destination feels slightly less important than the adventure of getting there. And that's something specifications alone can never measure. The Defender reminds us that vehicles can still inspire. They can still encourage exploration. They can still make us dream. The 2027 Land Rover Defender isn't perfect. No vehicle is. But perfection was never the goal. Character was. Capability was. Adventure was. And in those areas, the Defender continues to excel. Whether you're navigating downtown London, crossing the Australian outback, exploring Canadian wilderness, or tackling mountain trails in the American West, the Defender feels ready. Ready for the challenge, ready for the journey, ready for the unknown. It combines luxury, practicality, technology, and off-road capability in a way few vehicles can match. Most SUVs ask you to adapt to their limitations. The Defender encourages you to ignore yours, and perhaps that's the greatest compliment any vehicle can receive. Because long after the specifications are forgotten and the numbers become outdated, people will remember how it made them feel: confident, capable, adventurous. The 2027 Land Rover Defender isn't just transportation. It's a reminder that the world is still waiting to be explored. And that may be exactly why this modern legend continues to capture the imagination of drivers everywhere. If there is one SUV that truly deserves the title of modern adventure icon, the Defender remains one of the strongest contenders on the planet. And judging by what we're seeing in 2027, its story is far from over.